beautiful Center for Spiritual Living here in gorgeous San Clemente. We're so glad you're here with us this beautiful Sunday morning here in the sanctuary and up there in Video Land. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we'd like you to stand in your living room or here in the sanctuary with us for our first sing-along song. This is something new that we started last week. It's an Eddie Watkins Jr. song called We Come Together.
And we're going to do it even different this week than we did last week because we're still trying to figure it out.
We're going to add more echoes. So Kimberly and I will be the echoes, which would be you guys joining us. And basically, Wade sings it, we sing it right after him. So here we go. We're going to play.
Look at the person next to you.
Take a look at the person next to you.
Say, I recognize the God in you.
Say, recognize the God in you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Now look at the person next to you.
Now look at the person next to you.
Say, God loves me and I love you too.
Say, God loves me and I love you too.
Lift your voice.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come
We
together.
come together.
We come together in the name of love.
From every walk of life, every creed and color, in friendship we unite, oh, in honor of the God and each other. Look at the person next to you.
Take a look at the person next to you.
Say, God loves me and I love you too.
Say, God loves me and I love you too.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together. We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love.
Are you okay? Good morning. If you have been here before, you've probably already identified that I am not Reverend Alice, and I'm not Reverend Carla, or Reverend Judy. It's the hair that gives it away, I think. But anyways, I'm Bruce Fredenberg. I'm one of the staff ministers here, and my ministry is Science of Mind and Mental Health. And whatever you did last night, we don't care. Whatever you're going to do later on today, hopefully you'll do better. And so welcome for being here. I know you had a lot of choices. There's lots of things you could have been doing this morning. I'm sure there's a rerun of I Love Lucy you haven't seen in a while. You could be crying over the basketball or hockey games of your choice that didn't work out the way you wanted to. You could even be on the golf course, and yet you chose to be here. So welcome. If you have been here before, what you do know about us is that we are a non-denominational, really a trans-denominational teaching. And what we do is we teach everybody how to use spiritual principles to improve your life. So has anybody here got so much good going on in your life you'd never want anything else? Could I see that person have a little talk? In anyways, no matter how well things are going in your life, they can always go better. So, interesting idea to play with. We're going to start with our opening call to service, lighting the flames of faith. And lighting the flames of faith is a call to service. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Jodi Charton lights the last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And now, practitioner Jill Burnett with our opening prayer.
Please join me by taking a deep breath and centering yourself. This is what I know. I know there's only one power, one presence, one infinite source. And I know this source is God. I know that God is in me, as me, through me. As I invite each and every one of you listening to know that God is in, around, and through you as well. With this, I know that we have the power in us to be perfect, to be in that perfect presence, to know that we have perfect health, abundance, joy. I know this for each and every one of you in our life, that we have this. With this, I give great thanks and release it into the law, and together we say, and so it is. Now, please join me in our affirmations for today. You can repeat with me. I delight in the wonder of my body and treat it kindly, and so it is. Our global vision, where all life is honored as expressions of the divine, where people live according to spiritual truth, where humanity awakens to the spiritual magnificence, where humanity rediscovers personal creative power, where we live as one global family, where kinship and all purpose, where unity and connection is emphasized, where forgiveness is the norm, where spiritual guidance is valued, where communities are involved in service to the world, where resources are valued, cared, and shared, where people have enough food, homes, and sense of belonging, and where there is peace and harmony and justice for all.
This service is a team sport. I don't preside very often, so I'm likely to be off course occasionally, and there's a whole bunch of people here ready to step in and make sure that I do it right. And so one of my first jobs is to introduce our guest musician, guest singer, and we're very fortunate to have with us this morning Michael Garamoni. So let's welcome him.
This is Living in the Moment. If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just want to be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. And so I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I'll only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I let the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, to live in my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can't walk through life facing backwards. I've tried just too much to just make sure, and I was denied the future I've been searching for. I spun around and hurt no more by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, with peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life, just taking it easy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, with peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. For those in the back, thank you, Michael. Can you imagine what it must be like to be like Wade and Kimberly and Diana and him, that you can open your mouth and that kind of sound comes out? And you can do it anytime you want simply because you can? So thank you. Our theme, our yearly theme here is Living Everyday Wonder. And in June, we're focusing on the body. And today, we are having a speaker who traveled all the way from Laguna Hills, I believe, to be here today. And his talk today is Loving This Body. And our speaker is Dave Friedman, one of our senior practitioners here. And so let's welcome Dave and hear what he has to tell us.
Thank you, guys. How's everybody doing today? Oh, come on, really? There you go. There you go. Act like you mean it. Nice, colorful group. Nice body of people here. Like what I see what I did there. Well, good morning. Good morning, Gus. Good morning, Gus. Good morning, Gus. Good morning to all you Gus's out there. For those of you new to this idea, we are as God is, and some people call it God. Some people call it the universe. Some people just call it spirit. God, universe, and spirit. Gus, get it? Now you're caught up. So how's your body? Right? Yeah, I said, imagine walking up to somebody on the bus. How you doing? How's your body? Get away from me. Do we really pay attention to them? I mean, really. Other than that cursory look. How you doing? Gotta go like this. You look good. Then you get away from it, you know. So we don't really pay attention to them unless something goes wrong. Ain't that something? Most of us take better care of our cars than we do of our bodies. You gas it up, you change the oil, you clean it up. Do we ever really eat all of our vegetables? Yeah, no, not so much. I'm thinking it's because our bodies are so well put together. They're so boringly functional that we've become spoiled. We take them for granted. Just get up in the morning, go about your work. We got this. So I'm wondering, do you really know how magnificent this piece of equipment actually is? If a kidney fails, we got another one. We can live with one young lung. This body can even readjust itself. I found this one fascinating. It can readjust itself to function without the stomach. We don't even need that. Imagine, no more stomach aches. Go ahead, have your gallbladder removed. Whatever. Take that appendix. I don't need it. We're totally good. See how well it adjusts to the new circumstances? We can even make it break a sweat if we want to by, I don't know, walking up the stairs. And the body goes, I'm hot. Let me turn on my built-in inner air conditioning and I'll take care of this. So that's really good. Because normally what the body temple does is constantly creating new cells all the time. It's busy. I'm sure you've all heard, what do we have, a whole new body here every 7 to 10 years? Completely new and different. And it does this while breathing, processing food, carrying you around so that you can live your life without having to think about those things. Kind of amazing, actually, if you ask me. The body has been known, though, every once in a while to break a little bit of a sweat. You know, when we get fighting off some sort of disease, some sort of foreign substance. Now it's working hard to get rid of something. We probably had something to do with introducing that something into the body, but it doesn't hold a grudge. It just goes ahead and does whatever it wants to, while it's doing everything else. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the brain is managing the work of running the body. And the body, in return, keeps the brain safe, floating in its own little hot tub, right up here so it can see everything. It's like a room with a view. And even as the brain is doing all of this work, it seems to be there when we want or need it. Most of the time, at least for me. Sometimes I call on it. It's like, I'm busy. The brain is suggested that it hides or that it holds our consciousness, actually, so that we can be aware of earthly pleasures. It lets us appreciate smells and tastes. Yeah, most of them. I'm not a big fan of beets or green peppers. I don't know if anyone wants to hang out with that, see, right? So we don't really appreciate those, okay. And it helps us navigate the world as we experience and express Gus in our variety of ways. I did dance a little bit about the brain housing the consciousness because, quite honestly, I believe the consciousness is right here. I believe that our soul, our spirit lives in the heart. We can talk about that later if you like. But when we're listening, when we become aware of the messages of the heart, when we listen to that still small voice, the brain then translates it for us. See, so it's another example of how the whole thing is working perfectly. And speaking of the brain, what is it in you that thinks? Mary, I'm giving you fodder for your discussion later. You want to think about thinking? Go ahead. Get lost in that one for a while. Follow Alice down that particular hole. I was doing a little homework on that. Did you know that thinking about thinking is called metacognition? It's the idea of, it's almost like looking at that row of mirrors like that. It just goes on forever. Metacognition is an awareness of how we think. One example they gave is being aware of the fact that you don't really remember people's names in social situations. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm metacognitive. Nice to meet you. Again. Yeah, I'm one of those guys who doesn't remember people's names. Don't take it personal. I'm metacognitive. It's my badge. Here's another amazing feature of this body of ours. Did you know that the blood does a complete lap around the body? A couple of times a minute, several times a minute, while making a pit stop in your kidneys and your liver for filtering. I'm surprised we don't feel that, when it goes around these corners. It does it so effortlessly. And when an injury happens, the body temple, sends those little handyman cells that immediately go to work to fix it. Almost before you can say, ow. The healing process has already started. And by chance, if you are unfortunate enough or fortunate enough, because there's goodness everywhere, to have an injury that suggests you might lose an arm or use of your body, then your body adjusts again and keeps us fully functioning on the earth plane, doing whatever it is we need to do. Now, though, we have to get the mind involved, because the mind has to adjust too. As powerful and as awesome as the body is, our mind is so much more powerful. I expect you've all heard of that ability that we have to heal ourselves. It's true. It's been proven over and over and over again. So let's bring that mind, our mind, which is the mind of Gus, conscious mind, not the brain, divine mind. That's really the part of us that's never born, that's never died, that is here and everywhere, always and forever. The brain comes with the body. It functions as the body needs it to do. But right now I want to talk about our mind and our access to that mind itself. Couple that mind with not just believing, but knowing that we have the power to affect change. And if you don't believe it, like 100%, that's what we have practitioners for. I think Jesus was a practitioner. We hear stories about him healing people, and there's this one that I really haven't come to grips with, because there's these references about the guy. Remember he healed this guy who couldn't walk, this beggar? But in my mind, he didn't do anything. He said, get up and walk. I think he said, pick up your mat and walk. And the guy got up, and he picked up his mat and walked. Jesus believed so completely and totally, without doubt, knew it, that the man could walk. And the man borrowed his belief. And that's how that works. Here's another example. Anybody taken a Mary Morrissey class? She talks about her story, her awakening, if you will. It has to do with, what was she, 18 or something, close to dying in the hospital. One kidney just about dead, the other kidney working about 50%. It was to the point where the chaplain came into the room the night before the surgery. She asked Mary if she could see herself being healed. And Mary goes, yeah, no. Because she had bought in completely to the diagnosis. She had bought in completely to the prognosis. Further conversation with the chaplain uncovered the idea that even though she didn't believe it for herself, Mary said, I believe that you believe it. And the chaplain says, okay, there's that little bit of light. We can work with that. So she had her walk through the visualization of taking all of the toxins in her body and putting them over in this kidney, leaving this one completely normal. And then they visualized having a long and healthy life. They visualized being healthy. They visualized her kids graduating, getting married, grandkids, and she did that work. The doctors took out the bad kidney and gave her, 6 months to live. Follow-up visits showed that the remaining kidney had completely rejuvenated and was now functioning normally. And there's no medical explanation for it. Powerful, positive thinking coupled with absolute belief, absolute knowing can accomplish amazing things. Powerful, positive thinking coupled with knowing. And we get dangerous. We have the power to create. We are that power. So let's use that power to create a beautiful love for your body temple. This is the one we're housed in. This is the one that carries us around so we can have this experience regardless of what it looks like. Remember what Bruce said last week? How do you feel about your body? Do you want to be taller, thinner, more athletic? Bruce is still working on his hair. You have a little more this week than you did last week. This is what I'm thinking, yeah, see? It's kind of a hairy situation, if you will, but he's got this. Learn to love your body the way it is now. Are there things that you'd like to change? Sure. Go ahead. Just do it. Do you want to lose weight? Again, it starts with your mindset. There's a couple of ways to go about this. You have to decide that you want this, and then you have to go and do whatever it takes to make it happen. But there's another thing. I have a friend who lost a fair amount of weight simply because she changed her thinking. Decided that she loved herself and didn't need what a lot of people call this protection. And just changing a little self-acceptance, just adding a little self-love to it, dropped a fair amount of weight. Our attitudes about ourselves have a lot to do with how we carry ourselves, and then ultimately how we look. Remember? Mind first, physical manifestation later. And as we work towards accepting ourselves as we are, the natural byproduct of that is actually trying to treat our body with more respect. It starts with feeding it healthy food. Now, some people want to go, boom, and I'm just going to cut out everything bad and start with this. Some people do it naturally. But if you start with the mind and you make that decision that this is what you want to do, going in that direction is a very natural thing. It almost happens without you trying. No beats. Just saying. Anyone ever heard of the blue zones? There are 7 areas in the world with a larger than average number of centenarians. And they're pockets. And so someone said, and they went and did this homework and they found out about these blue zones. And there's a number of things that identify these pockets that is consistent among all the people in it and consistent around the blue zones. I won't get into that right now, but one of them is eating. People who live in these blue zones eat a preponderance of real food, whole food, healthy food. They're going 90% plant-based diets. And we are people. If you want a piece of meat or a steak or something, go ahead. Just don't live there. I like to say, do you want to live a long time, or you just want it to seem like it's a long time? You know, we have to have fun while we're here and have some enjoyment. But another part of that is to stop eating when you're almost full. I think when we feel about 80% full, the rest of the food hasn't gotten all the way down there. So they say about 80% full, probably not to stress the system. I think it's because we want to have room for dessert. Use your mind. Believe that you are healthy, and then visualize that. Love and respect this body temple. And your body has no choice but to follow. And that's the way it works. Because we are spirit. We are as Gus. We are spiritual beings. We are housed in a physical body, and we are having a human experience. Many meditations start by getting us in touch with our bodies. Feel your seat in the chair, feel your feet, feel your breath. And what that is that we consciously connect to our spiritual side and align it with the physical space on earth. And that's how you get the whole thing to line up present in the present moment. Experiencing and feeling the physicality of this life is one of the main reasons I believe we're here. Spirit is just mind. Spirit is everywhere. Spirit is always. Spirit knows of itself, but probably is not aware of it because it just is. So I believe that we're here in order to allow spirit to experience itself. So why would we think ill of our bodies? Why wouldn't we appreciate what we have? If we don't, we're not appreciating that bigger sense of life itself. Reminds me of a song I won't sing, but God Bless the Child, Billie Holiday. I knew she sang it. I didn't realize she actually wrote that. Them what's got shall have. Them what's got shall get. Them what's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and still it's news. Them that's got, them that will believe they already have, them that will visualize an abundance mindset, them what visualize healthy, they've got. Because that's the way this works. And them what not, them what have a lack mentality, them what are not happy, you just get more of that. Because as we know, in the metaphysical world, likes attract. That's a mystical message. Mystical messages to me are consistent throughout all of time because they're the truth. We call that a capital T truth. It just is. And here's another way to look at it. We believe that we are as Gus is. Yes? Yes, thank you. Then to think less of ourselves, in this case your bodies, means to think less of Gus. Do we really want to think less of all that is? This is from the Essential Ernest Holmes. There's a cosmic pattern at the center of every organ of our physical body. Our body is some part of the body of God. It is a manifestation of supreme spirit. And it could be extreme too. Our body, the body of God, is a manifestation of that spirit. It has all of that in it. And we're not going to get any closer to Gus by denying any aspect of the total. Right now, this week, we're talking about our body. Each of your body temples is created for you. It is your own personal place to live. It's very personal. And quite honestly, we're just renting it for a few years. Don't you want to treat it right so that we can live in it and it can serve us comfortably the way it's designed to do. Learn to love your body now, not 10 pounds from now, not after you run the race. There will always be goals. Putting off your love, putting off that love, which is actually now conditional. I'm only going to love you if. It's contingent upon reaching a goal. And if you're always working for that space over there, you're going to miss what happens between here and there. You don't want to miss out on the journey. This is our life. Be here for it. And don't put off that love of yourself. Don't put that off till later. That later bus will never come. Whatever we look like on the outside, remember that we are carried around in a perfect machine, one that continues to do what it's supposed to do. Process food, pump blood, everything else that we've always talked about. And it is supporting our spiritual being with the opportunity to experience this. And all of the thises that all of y'all go through every single day. You're doing this because our body, this magnificent thing, works. This week, while you're out doing whatever you're doing, notice the thoughts you have about your body. Are you guys like, besties? How you doing, bestie? Do you say good things about your body? Do you tell it that you love it? Or do you have a love-hate relationship with it? And remember, when you think bad about it and when you talk bad about it, you're thinking bad and talking bad about Gus. I'd like to share with you a poem by Holly Holden. It's called Today I Asked My Body What She Needed. Holly is a woman. And so this poem is from the she point of view, but it really does apply to everybody. And guys, we got a little feminine energy in it, so just pay attention just a little bit. Today, I asked my body what she needed, which is really a big deal considering my journey of not really asking that much. I thought she might need some more water, or protein, or greens, or yoga, or supplements, or movement. But as I stood in the shower, reflecting on her stretch marks, her roundness where I'd like flatness, her softness where I'd like firmness, all these conditioned wishes that form a bundle of never quite rightness. And she whispered very gently, "Could you just love me like this?" This is what this is. Could you love this just the way it is? I bet you could. And you know what? Your body will love you back in a very big way. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. All that multitasking made me dizzy. And you're not going to believe this, but I've actually known people who can drive a car, sing a tune, digest food, and grow a baby all at the same time. It's just amazing. I don't know how you do it. But as someone pointed out that, spirit brings the intelligence, spirit brings the supply, spirit brings the power. All we need to do is add the conviction. And now I'd like to welcome Michael Garamoni, who's going to sing for us again. Thank you, Michael.
Silent, I watch the clouds. Silent, I touch the water. Silent, I lean to people. Silent, I turn to light. Silent, I welcome birds. Silent, I lift the children. Silently reaching outward. Silently holding time. And my roots go deep in this place I know. Though I may be young, still I grow. For I was put here to make something beautiful. Make something beautiful before I go. Silent, I bow to crowds. Silent, I move to breezes. Silent, I bless the lovers. Bending, I hear their sighs. Silent, I spread my arms. Youthful and strong, I'm standing. Look, and you'll see me dancing. Look, and you'll see me rise. And my roots go deep in this place I know. Though I may be young, still I grow. For I was put here to make something beautiful. See something beautiful. Be something beautiful before I go.
See, he did it again. He opens his mouth and this wonderful sound comes out. So thank you again, Michael. Am I missing something? Do you have another song?
Offertory?
I am going to do the offertory, but I wasn't sure. Said here, Diane. Diane provides the music. So. As those of you who've been here before know that everything that we do here is self-supporting by the members here who come here. And so we have nice chairs, we have great musicians, we have nice people, pleasant place to bring your friends. So we're going to do my favorite part of the whole service, and that is when you get a chance to give back to yourselves. So if the stewards would come forward, please. And up on the screen behind me, I suspect you will see our affirmation. So if you'll join me, my offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Thank you. So this song is something different, and you are welcome to stand and dance. It's called Caravan of Love, and yeah.
Place in which we were born, now no longer forlorn, but in love. Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Everybody take a stand and join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up. He's my brother. Don't you know? And I'm your sister. I'm your sister, don't you know? We'll be living in a world of peace, and the day when everyone is free. We'll bring the young and the old, and won't you let your love flow? You got it, Patty. From your heart.
Thank you, all of you. And when my leg gets to twitching like this, it reminds me there's a little Elvis in all of us, right? And I mentioned earlier that this is a team sport, and I'd like to acknowledge some of the people who have made this happen today, starting with Diane King Van, our choir and music director on piano. And our fabulous band, and I don't think anybody would argue with this is a fabulous band. We have Ed Cuspy on guitar. We have David Page, the drummer, who keeps everybody in tune and on time. And Grant Clarkson, who keeps his eye on him to make sure he's in the right tempo. Let's see, so if you've been in service in any way this week, would you please stand, or volunteers? Again, everything is done by us, so these people put in a lot of time, and there's a set of those volunteers, our practitioners, if you'd remain standing. And we also have 3 practitioners in service for you today. They are Lorianne Whitty, Jody Charton, and Jill Burnett, and if you'll remain standing, they are at the back table, or tables, and they will give you a short treatment should you desire to improve, increase, or in any way support any aspect of your life whatsoever. Do we have any new visitors today? Anybody here for the first time? Because if you do, okay, hold your hand up because we have a gift for you. There is a gift bag, and if you fill out the card that's in it, take it to the bookstore, you will get a free gift. And now, to keep us all entertained and informed, we have some invitations from Wade and Kimberly. Don't laugh until everybody's had a chance.
Welcome to CSLCV Motors. Well, you'll find the largest selection of new and used vehicles to suit every need and budget. It's like a zoo for cars. Our motto, if you don't find it here, then we don't have it.
You know how it works. You have to dream it to drive it. So before you come on down to pick out your new ride, you need to go to Conscious Connection and talk over what your body needs for both short and long haul driving.
Sure, but with the price of gas today, you might be thinking it's going to take an ordinary wonder to get a loan.
Well, if you go to the book study on Wednesday at 9:30 on Zoom, they're only on chapter 2 of Ordinary Wonder, and you'll leave feeling pretty zen. Details are found in the newsletter and on the calendar page of our website, although your mileage may vary.
For those of you who enjoy the feel of a manual transmission, try the 2022 Sportage with a shifting sands package. It's on Zoom, Zoom, Zoom.
Or try this gently used 2020 Toyota Sienna. It's a hybrid model, perfect whether you're coming home or awakening to spirit. It'll give you a deeper connection to the road and to your fellow congregants than just about any other model.
Coming out on Friday, July 8th, is the mid-year model release of the Nissan Gamonite, featuring a newly redesigned Mexican drivetrain. No need to sign up for pre-orders, just show up and claim yours.
Put yourself in the driver's seat by bidding on Gourmets for God. 7 different events have been planned to take place during the months of July, August, September, and October. Make us an offer. It's fuel for the soul, and the sinner will thank you.
You can find out more about these offers and upcoming offers on our new interactive platform app, Breeze. Manage your contributions, register, pay for classes and events. Please stay tuned for more information on Breeze in the weeks ahead.
And now, please join Cal Worthington and his dog, Spot, in singing the closing song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. One more time. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. We are as it is, and it can't outperform us. Go have it. Love your body, love your life, and spread the joy that you all are. And so it is.